Alright, welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4 Millennium Dawn modded playthrough of Greece. We're going to get it going here real quick. Right off the jump of the start of the episode. We're going to finish up a lot of these things. I think the European Union, we're going to run out of time though for our decisions, if we haven't already. Yeah, so in the next month, we are going to fail the reforms for the Eurozone. At least this first indicator. Didn't understand how the European Union functions, so I got off. It looks like you have to almost be perfect in your votes in Parliament, or at least not skip the first year. But yeah, I think I've kind of figured out how this interface works. It's just pretty terrible. Like, there needs to be some sort of display about, like, what's available and what's not, when you can vote. We are going to take any investment offers from anyone outside of the Eurozone. I see no reason to not. Council voting is what we're going to be stuck on because we just don't have the political power. You need 500 political power to push a council vote yourself through, and we would have to get Eurobonds in and onboarded, I think. Yeah, and we can't get this until we get Eurobonds. So, whatever they want to vote on, they can vote on. That's really not going to matter. Our next goal is 500 political power as we get advanced robots. That's going to help us with our employment issue. So let's see what else we can get. Yep. Next one is definitely going to be advanced AI. And we're going to get, what is it, 2010 right now. We do need pop, but resources are probably more advantageous. How is our energy situation? We're pretty tight on energy, so I'm going to go ahead and look at energy improvements. So I'm going to say energy and fuel are probably high priority. Yeah, because even if we wanted to switch over fully to making more civilian industry or factories, we're still going to be out of power after we do those or make those. So that's something to watch. Looks like we are kind of, I don't know. What is this? Conventional Armed Forces in Europe Treaty. So this is just before we violate this treaty and then Russia declares war on us or something because we have too many units. That seems stupid. If we have too many units, they'd have to build up units too. It's a, yeah, I don't know. Seems like a bad treaty. We do have a lot of foreign influence, so this is not great. We could lose control of the country completely. I would definitely want to fight back against this after this vote. Don't have a ton of money, but we are still positive with our expenses. Their GDP per capita is over 60,000, and we can actually get a lab upgrade. Hopefully that'll maintain. Ah, yes, here's that, a failure of the European Union. Yeah, so we're gonna get debuffs here. I'm assuming that's gonna flip us into the negative. Our interest rate goes up. Which it did. We'll have to take out a loan, but we'll be fine because we'll start making factories here shortly. And actually, yeah, what's our our worker fulfillment? I do have to watch that. I can't make too many factories. Population taxes are pretty high. We're still at 100% stability though. But we are expending. All right. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is re-lower military spending again. To push us positive. Have to do that for the money. We'll have to fix the Eurozone situation. That'll require political power. And a nice, fine balancing act we need to do. I just don't want to bump our debt payment even higher. Until we pay that off, there's not really a lot we can do. I'll just keep paying that down. More efficient to pay down the debt so that our interest rate drops until we're at least like at 3%. Because we do get that 8% year over year return on foreign investment. Oh, and look at the United States coming in with the heavy hitting investment projects for network infrastructure. Russia is striking Ukraine. Kind of just gonna ignore things we probably shouldn't ignore. I'm gonna say we want to bump our nuclear power output as we are about to online another facility. And that will help us immensely. And we can start shifting our power output away from fuel. And then as our power output is extensive, like increased exponentially, we can also reduce our population's reliance on fuel and move it to electricity. All right, let's go ahead and keep paying down debt. Research, with that new research slot, I am going to actually go for pop growth research. Unless space sciences finishes, in which case we're going to get satellites almost immediately. Where are Southern Macedonia? Do we? Yeah, it looks like we have the roads for that. All right, cool. Yeah, the economic situation of Greece is much better than North Korea's after the events that happened in North Korea. That may not be released by the. They should come out the same time as this episode. So that'll be fun for y'all. If you haven't watched the North Korea playthrough, episodes 12 through 15, that's gonna be me absolutely having messed up and it having some interesting events happen. All right, so that looks like the Arab Spring thing. And the US is canceling their satellite rights. This is why I want our own satellite network. We'll lose our research bonus too if they remove the spy sat. We just can't rely on other entities for our military prowess or prowess. All right. And once this goes below 5%, I'll look at uh, some actual international investments again. All right. July 22nd. So 5 days. And then, yeah, we're getting reduced amounts of political power too because of the crisis. Oh, this is terrible. Interest rate bump, political power. How fast is the next debuff? I'm sure that's not the only one. Maybe it was. So did we just have that permanently? How long does that last? I might leave the Eurozone if that's a... That can't be permanent, can it? There's no shot, right? So I would have needed to have saved pretty much every bit of political power possible. Just enacted changes that function for that tree. I think we did get an airborne unit finished. Or a couple. I need to check doctrine wise if our training... It just looks like training wise it's going straight for... Yeah, and it's not training anything with our elite forces. Like, what do I have to train to even get this up then? These are airborne units. That seems bugged out as well. I guess we'll find out. Are they all training or... Yeah, they're all training. All right, so we got our power plant. We're going to go ahead and bump up the industry. I guess we took out a loan, so might as well do foreign investment in France. France is getting invested in again. We got our text slot here. Again, pop growth. For sure, population growth. And we'll continue to pay down debt. And GDP per capita is still going up, it looks like. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm not seeing... Okay, so we got this early, so we can probably do resource extraction safely. Power would be pretty safe. Air Force. Yeah, this is gonna be tough. Because we're gonna need Air Force. We'll need Cold War engines. We'll need fuel. Hmm. We're gonna need resources too. Those will give factories. So we'll get that first. Right. And start making payments. We're still way short on political power. We need 200 more to even think about passing these laws we need. Yeah, this looks like it actually removes the European debt crisis, or at least some of the debuffs now, so we definitely need to pass it. Yeah, because our interest went up so high. We'll continue with Special Forces research. And then we have fuel concerns. I want to say we do not have oil. Yeah, only 5 oil. So we would have to take Northern Cyprus or something like that. Would be nice. But we need way more world tension. Russia fighting Moldova is a unique one. Yep, we're definitely going to want fuel gain, resources, power plants too. That's construction speed. I'm going to get that first. Yeah, as our power situation is going to be a lot better. Factories, we do build a little bit slow here. Yeah, we're going to, by 2014, our economy should be pretty, like, souped up. To the point where we have enough factories, we can start trading for resources we're going to need. It's just going to be, can we actually declare a war on anyone because of world tension? Unless we change the government. Or start a war with a major power. So, yeah, even if we check... Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. Just to get it out of the way. Yeah, and the US is getting a lot of influence over us because of the foreign investment. All right, let's see. Yeah, that drops us down below 4%. Guess we pass the expansion. Yeah, so the expansion passed, but they won't pass Euro bonds. That's insane to me. We'll let more states in to vote against Euro bonds rather than fix our own problems. Wait, what? So, determine a serious breach of EU values. According to Article 7 of whatever council law, their existence of a serious and persistent breach by a member state of the values of the European Union, and this is prerequisite for the suspension from the EU. And France, all other voting member states, France must not be one of the top 3 influencers. So what, just because they're high in influence, they can just disregard the law? How's that cool? I don't think that's fair. That doesn't seem right. Yeah, and it's still quite a few months until we get that factory up. I wonder if we'll actually get it, if it'll just fall into tax costs like everything else does. How's our economy? We're at fast growth. We haven't actually moved up to booming economic growth. Disappointing. We don't have fuel gain, so after we get this ABWR, I think fuel gain is probably what I'm going to go for. Corrupt police management. Bad idea. We're not doing that. Not trying to destroy Greece. I'm trying to build Greece up, guys. We might need to push influence in Macedonia. I think we could start a civil war and free them from Bulgaria here. Ooh, China draws international condemnation for camps? Yeah. That's condemned. China is trying to speed run the Germany campaign right now. Or 20th century Germany. All right. No. Here we go. 500 right there. That's what we needed. Euro bonds. Why can I not select it? Guys, it's in the list. Recently concluded. We have 125 days. Oh my. The timing is terrible. All right, what are we pushing? We'll get fuel. That'll probably switch to resources. This will probably switch to resources. Unless satellites finishes, which we're over half. We're at 60%. So maybe by 2014 or 2013, we might get there. Yeah, I'm not going to accept their offer if they're just going to revoke it. And then our next income cycle, we'll be able to invest. I think one of these was actually green. This should be okay, right? Yep. One more income cycle. Come on. For an investment. There we go. 103 days. Yeah, we're somehow at 11 factories now, so maybe trade goods went up. Not sure. 6 days, we'll get another research. And we have what? 90 days. So 3 months from now. So the end of April, maybe? We might be okay. Might go for fuel gain. Yeah, well, let's get fuel gain. See if that helps in combination with all these other things. Yeah, we're getting some good income flipping up point. So we got what? 11 million increase in international investment for spending 7 billion. Whereas if we spent 7 billion on our debt, what does that shift our payment here? That's the question, right? So if we spend 2.5 billion, like, did it shift? And yeah, we have 71 days, so we'll keep it going. And that's going to be all we can do for this. So we'll go ahead and pause. We'll stop it here. Let's look at our GDP. So our economy's a little behind. We haven't even broke the 1 trillion mark, but we are right on the cusp of that. Looks like Pakistan has. That's nice. We're going to move. Territory is not going to be changing for us. Civilian industry, though. We're up to 20. So we're right here in the thick of things with a lot of the other European nations, where the Germany leading the way, I think, right? 85 is quite significant. They're over four times as efficient as us. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll catch everyone on the next episode of the Greece campaign.